Hey everyone, this is Josh. We are playing First Encounter Assault Recon on my Galaxy Book Ion 15-inch. As you may know, the Galaxy Book Ion unfortunately does not come with a actual graphics card. In fact, the only graphics that are on the machine are, integrated into the CPU, so you can play only the most basic games, or at least the games that we would consider basic now. And so I've done a lot of testing, and you absolutely cannot play Modern Warfare. You can't play Gears 5 or Gears Tactics. I've tried even City Skylines, which isn't graphically intensive, it's more CPU intensive. That game runs really, really slow. But actually, what I found out is that even though it's a underpowered CPU and there's no graphics card on the American version at least. The computer can actually run older games pretty well. Now this game originally came out in 2005. I was reminded of this game actually this week because Digital Foundry released a great analysis onto this older technology on this game that came out in October 2005 on the PC. It came out the following year on Xbox 360, which was definitely the best console version. And then it came out in, I believe, April 2007 on the PlayStation 3, which is actually where I first played the game. I had a PlayStation 3, always had a PS3 ever since launch. Only later on in the cycle did I get a 360, but definitely the 360 is the best version, I think. But it's kind of cool because now, back in those times, you would need a really powerful PC to play this game. In fact, even like a pretty expensive PC wouldn't even be able to play this game at max settings 15 years ago. Now, this may seem kind of ridiculous for a lot of you now, if you've only recently started getting into games or you haven't been playing games that much, but it just absolutely blows my mind that I can play this game on a machine without even a graphics card in it now. To me, this game doesn't seem that old. Yes, it's 15 years old, technically, which is a very long time, especially in the world of technology. But at the same time, it's really not, because I remember these days, I was in high school and when I first played this game, and playing it on the PlayStation 3, I thought it was a great game then, and even now I still think it's a great game. I don't mind the graphics. They don't bother me. The gameplay is fine. There's actually a lot to admire about this game, I think, even today, but I could be biased because to me, this game's a classic. Absolutely classic. And so I wanted to look at the performance. That's the point of this video, just like that Digital Foundry video, see how the performance is, but here I'm actually specifically testing the Galaxy Book Ion. This is at 1920 by 1080 resolution, which is the max resolution of the screen. I originally had it on high settings, everything maxed out, but then, or not max, ultra is the maximum, but on high with everything turned on, actually the frame rate did go down once you actually started playing. But I noticed if I just adjust to medium settings, actually just turning off shaders, I believe it was, I actually haven't even messed around with the settings that much, so this is very, very basic. I'm sure you could get much better performance, but generally this is medium settings, and I'm getting about 30 to 60 FPS, probably hovering around 40, 35 to 40 overall. Unfortunately, you might not be able to tell on the screen when it gets to be very smooth, into that 60 FPS range, because I'm actually using the Windows game bar to record this. I'm not using a separate program. And that's actually another testament to the power of this PC. This is not a gaming PC. This is a Ultrabook, a thin and light Ultrabook. It's, I think, about $1,200-1,300. Definitely not cheap, but it's not super expensive like a normal gaming laptop is anyway. This is not built to be a gaming laptop. It's very, very light. And so everything I did on this is right out of the box. I have a Bluetooth headset connected to this, the Bose QC35 I'm actually using to record this right now. I don't have my normal Blue Yeti. To play the game, I was using a HP Bluetooth mouse and I wasn't even playing connected to the wall. This is all on the battery, and I still had the battery usage for the maximum performance setting. I don't have any battery saver mode, but this is what you can expect the game to look like at these settings. And this is, again, everything right out of the box. I'm not using any special programs. I'm not using my eGPU. I just wanted to see what it was like if you were literally just taking this with you on the road. And keep in mind, I'm also recording using the built-in system, so it's taking up a little bit more processing power. And that's pretty impressive to me, that you could play this game that I originally played on this big honkin' PlayStation 3, or some of you may have played this on a pretty big PC desktop, not even a laptop. And the fact that I'm able to play it at great, medium settings and still get really good frame rate and be recording is very impressive. And not to mention, I also had probably 3 or 4 Chrome tabs open, YouTube, Facebook, and yeah, I was pretty impressed. The RAM usage was probably around 6 gigs overall with everything. We know that Google Chrome can be pretty RAM heavy. The fact that this game or this laptop comes with only 8 gigs of RAM, I don't think will be a problem. If you want to just do some light gaming or just play some older games, I think you probably don't need to upgrade the RAM. You'll probably be fine with 8 gigs. In fact, games generally are not very RAM heavy. They're more VRAM on PC, but even still, there's setups where 16 gigs is enough. 16 gigs is totally fine, and that's on modern games. And so I'm sure if you just wanted to buy this PC or this laptop for yourself or someone else, even though you can upgrade the RAM, probably not super necessary if they're just going to be playing these games with no external GPU. I went ahead and upgraded the RAM to 24 gigs. I put an extra SSD in there, but if you're just playing games like this, it's totally necessary. It's totally unnecessary to upgrade anything more than the 8 gigs that's right there. This plays really well. I actually got into it. I wanted to record just one clip, and I kind of had to force myself to stop because the game runs really, really well. It's a lot of fun. You can still get into it, and to me, this is just a classic. It's really hard to find games like this nowadays where when you play it, it's like there's something special about this game. And to me, there will always be something special about this game because I remember when I first saw it, and it was, I'm not even sure if it was on YouTube, probably a different video program because YouTube only came out in 2005. But I remember being just blown away by the graphics, the lighting, the slow motion effects, the ragdoll effects. So impressive. And even playing this game now, 15 years later after it comes out, you still can get really immersed, especially if you've never played this game before and you've never beaten the campaign or it's been a long time. You can still get surprised just by how engrossing the game is. You get really into the environment, and some of the textures might not be the best quality compared to today, but you can still kind of lose yourself into it and admire the ragdoll physics. The blood effects are certainly pretty interesting. The level design, actually, I don't really have any criticisms. Digital Foundry, I highly recommend watching their recent analysis. They do a much better job than I do, but I really enjoy playing this game. I throw a grenade here, and then the guy, you see the shockwave, and then you see the guy just to kind of explode into a ball of red. Really stylized in a very, very cool way. I wish they made a game, made a sequel on the PlayStation 4, hopefully PlayStation 5. I don't even know who did this game, but it's a very, very good game, and even still, I think it holds up very well. So if you can, I recommend actually getting it on Steam on sale. I'm not sure how much I paid for it, not that much. But I took advantage of the summer sale, and I was able to buy for like $30. I bought at least 10 different games. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas, the original Rainbow Six Vegas 2, this game, F.E.A.R 2, and F.E.A.R 3, and really, I was able to play all of these games just on the laptop. I didn't have an external GPU at the time, and I was amazed just how well it played, and I'm still amazed at how well this plays without a graphics card. I can't, I just can't get over it. It's incredible. Especially knowing, having played all of these games originally when they first came out, and connecting it, putting it on my PS2 or PS3 and connecting it to the TV. You needed a big setup, but now you can play these games anywhere, which is really cool. I hope to do more videos like this, checking out more older games, like the original Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. I was really into those games. Original Splinter Cells, I love that. I was a big fan of this game too. Beat the campaign. Although the campaign is very, very challenging, the characters are, the enemy AI is really, really good. They might actually be too good. That might be a fault, but they do incredible things like track you around, and they flank you and take cover. And you can hear them talking to their teammates, so their teammates will, they'll suppress, and the teammates will come around and get you. So it's still a great game. It still holds up really, really well. I also last week did a video on Full Spectrum Warrior. I hope to actually do a commentary on that game, because that game is another special game for me, because I remember getting it when it first came out and being just blown away by the gameplay and how amazing it was. So I hope you enjoyed watching this gameplay of the original F.E.A.R on the 15-inch Galaxy Book Ion. This version, I did upgrade the RAM, as I mentioned before, but any version, the 13-inch or the 15-inch, out of the box, you can expect to play games like this from this era, the Xbox 360 era of games, or PS3 era. You can expect it to run pretty well. And this is how it runs without making any major adjustments. I'm sure I can make it run better if I actually took the time to turn off anti-aliasing or something like that. But yeah, thanks for watching. And if you have any comments or suggestions for Galaxy Book Ion videos you want to see in the future, just let me know, and I'll do it. So thanks for watching. Take care.